Hello everyone and welcome back to the 118th episode of Panther Talks.
Hello.
We are back after a baffling 2 weeks, I'd say. Dear God, there's a lot happened in between, but there's also been a lot of game news. After long last, we're actually getting some developments.
Even though apparently the developments we're seeing are this.
Yeah, I can't argue
No,
again.
I'm not happy about what we've seen.
I know. I mean, I can give some positive news in this regard. Is that we are starting to notice that, well, it's not really positive and it's not really new information because we both already know indie developers are stepping up and pretty much replacing AAA across the board. Anything indie that we seem to be coming across that doesn't have as much development costs, seems to be doing really well, seems to be showing how AAA and industry specialists are doing the same sort of games. So
I mean, just to further back that point, I would say at least 90% of stuff on my wish list is all like indie devs, if not more.
That would not shock me.
I'm not even sure what you could consider is like a big known developer on my wish list.
I'm actually just checking mine. So I got Red Dead. Suppose you can throw that in. Borderlands 4. I don't ever remember adding that, but sure. Metaphor, Warhammer. The game we'll be covering a lot today.
Mostly negative.
Yeah.
£55 for that.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the cheap version. That's actually not as bad as I expected.
Still, though.
Untick that right now. Just as a slight show of what you have to look forward to. Anyways, yeah, indies are stepping up. AAA is falling apart, and fingers crossed, we'll have something better to talk about as we go. So, this week we are going to be covering SEGA, of all companies, I'm very surprised, who accidentally revealed 6 years of sales data for some of their games, which is impressive.
Random, but okay.
Yeah. Our government, the UK government, is launching a £30 million games growth package.
Can I get some?
I know, right? It'd be great. The Skyblivion team gives Bethesda modding advice.
Right.
Mindseye is just falling apart at the seams because it was never put together properly. Possibility that Mindseye 2 might be in development. Good luck if you're still actually functioning.
This has to be just a rumor. Like, there's just no way. There's just no way.
Yeah.
Unless they're instead they're going from, let's not do what Cyberpunk didn't actually fix our game. Let's literally just crumple this up like it's a piece of paper into a ball and throw it into the trash can.
Yeah.
Because honestly, they might be better off doing that.
Yeah. And the final thing we'll be talking about is the fact that the Steam Summer Sale is coming.
We love sales!
We do indeed. And the fact that the biggest one of the year is on its way is even better. Yes. So, with all that said and done, let's move into the actual topics and start getting things done. So, Sega, what the hell have you done yesterday?
Why have you done
apparently?
This?
Yeah. Ooh, yes, they have. Okay. Sega has made the mistake on one of their PDF forms, which has inadvertently disclosed full sales numbers for some of the company's key software releases in recent years. So this is only virtual sales, it is not physical. There's sales data for a couple of Sonic games, but what's most interesting is those Persona series sales numbers, which are absolutely massive. It shows why the company has been pumping out the quality titles as they are selling gangbusters. Whatever the fuck the last word means. Okay.
I can't imagine that it's really much of a good idea to give information like this, but I don't see why it's a mistake. Is it smart business from a business perspective? Probably not.
Yeah, no, I'm with
you.
But
at the same time, like, unless it's like horrendous numbers, I don't really see much of an issue.
No, I'm with you 100% there. So,
I mean, what does this really affect by seeing that they've sold just millions of copies of a ton of their games?
I suppose it'd sort of do what similar to like what's going on with the indie market. You see one successful type of a new genre of game, and next thing everyone tries to fucking mimic it.
Oh, they're just the asset flips. We
Yeah,
kick those aside, just brush them to the side with the back of your hand and click on the ones
we
that are
try.
actually good. We try, but there's an overwhelming number of them because everyone thinks they can just make a quick buck.
Yeah, but I'm not just talking about the asset flips. I'm also talking about AAA. Like, look at PlayerUnknown's Battleground, the first ever battle royale game, realistically
Which
speaking.
surprisingly is still insanely popular, by the way.
Yeah, I know. It's massive in China.
The amount of players on it is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. But they did it well, and then it got expanded upon, and other people decided to go at it. And now, pretty much after like 2 years, every AAA developer was making their game have a battle royale form of some
Oh
form.
yeah, I mean, we went through like a good 2 years of just any game you saw being released was a battle royale,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
it was the most boring shit ever. Sure, they're fun for like a quick game or two. It's a bit more in depth than just a quick Call of Duty TDM. But I don't know about you, Roy. I'm a loot goblin.
I know you are. I know
I
you
want
are.
to. I want to kill people, take their loot, and keep it for myself.
Yeah, this is quite literally the guy who played through Stalker 2, picked up so much that he could barely walk, and stumbled across half the map.
Yeah, the ship that you go to before you go to that horrendous bottom right corner of the map. With that ship mission. I went from that ship to a compound. I went back and forth, I think 4 times to collect all the weapons and go back and sell them.
I'm not even shocked. So yeah, he's a complete and utter loot goblin. But yeah, that's my main thing of what this could do. It could push major developers towards these style of games, which I stand by the thing. You should not be copying other developers. You should be trying to do your own thing. If you
I mean, it's one thing to take inspiration,
exactly,
but
when
I mean, as you were saying about the battle royales, they're just terrible clones of each other.
Yeah, pretty much. So these sale numbers: Persona 5 Royal came out. This is starting from 2020, and then there's other games that didn't exist at that point. So Persona 5 Royal sold in total 7.25 million units. Now, obviously, we cannot say for a fact when these were purchased, so half of them could be at different times during sales, so on and so forth. But that is one hell of a sales set. 1.03 mil in 2020.
The first year.
Yeah, 700,000.
What's that, Persona 5?
Yeah, Persona 5 Royal. 700,000 in 21, 350,000 in 2022.
Because that's the entirety of 2020, because it was actually released in October of 2019.
Oh, even better then. 1.82 million in 23, 1.6 million in 24, and 1.75 million in 25.
It's insane to think that many sales have went like 4 years after release.
Oh, 100%, yeah. And the other thing, like, as you scroll through this, the highest number, you can tell which had a massive fan base. Sonic Frontiers, 3.2 million in the first year. Like, that just shows the, I'd say, obsession of the fan base. But then you got Team Sonic Racing, wasn't able to even pass 3.5 million, where Sonic Frontiers at 4.57 million. So, yeah, the core fan base probably bought it as it went.
Wait a minute.
What?
Okay, that's for year 2023. It's in, because I thought it was for 2022. It sold that many copies.
Yeah.
And I was gonna absolutely lose my mind because it came out in November of 2022.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to fix their article for them.
Again?
Yeah, there was a missing comma.
Why am I not surprised,
it just
honestly?
looked messy. Upset me. Anyways, that's that fixed.
I mean, think about how easy it would be to just completely fake what we're seeing right now, and you just add like a 0 onto everything.
Oh, definitely. I've just got to refresh it now to just remove that to prove I have not done that. Gives me. Total War 3 Kingdoms. A lot of people that are fans of the strategy fan base. 2.1 million in 2020. Made a total of 3.21 million sales overall. Yakuza Like a Dragon. pretty much had general sales throughout the years. Came out with 2.86 million total sales, but that's nothing to like put your nose up at. Sonic
Yeah, no, it's still a substantial number.
Oh yeah, Sonic Superstars, 2.4 million total, 1.81 million in 2024. Shin Megami Tensei 5V, including Vengeance, whatever the hell that is.
No idea.
990,000 in 2022, 150,000 in 2023, 10,000 in 24, and 960,000 in 25, 2.11 million in total. It is a bit surprising that they only got 10,000 sales though in 24.
I mean, we don't even know what it is, so I think that
Yeah.
kind of explains why.
Well, I mean, these sort of games for the most part probably wouldn't be our cup of tea, especially this sort of thing. It's like I think it's a JRPG. Looks like one. Yeah, it's a JRPG. But it's a similar idea as Persona.
Excuse me, Final Fantasy vibes.
Yeah, similar idea to Persona, to be honest with you. But Persona's
Clearly a much better game.
Yeah, people prefer it.
And let's be honest as well, we're also forgetting that this is Sega titles.
Yeah.
They've been around for decades.
Oh, they have.
And have already been like more than loved. So they have that going for them. It's a starter advantage.
Definitely. Persona 3 Reload, 2.07 million in total sales. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, 1.66 million in total sales, and Like a Dragon Gaiden, the man who erased his name, 960,000 sales in total. So, yeah, Sega aren't great with naming. But I think it is very interesting to see what's actually been selling the most this year. I think is the big interest. Because looking at this just straight off the bat, you can sort of see what sort of trends people are looking at this year. So, you can definitely see that people are interested in their JRPGs. 1.75 million sales of Persona 5 Royal, Persona
5000. 6 years after release, their sales almost double of the first year of release.
Oh yeah, simple reason. The other thing about this sort of gives you something to start looking at. So, like, as you're going through, you can sort of go, right, financial year 25, what the hell changed to increase our figures of sale this much? And
excellent question.
It definitely gives them sort of something to look at and see, right, you can clearly tell that the market and demographic has changed so much that this is now taking more of an impact. So we need to prioritize games like Persona 5 Royal over games like, let's say, Like a Dragon Gaiden.
You know what I asked then after that? How is it that some companies we're seeing that have just title after title, massive IPs that sell just millions and millions and millions of copies, how do they have redundancies? When you see this, like, not only are they releasing stuff that's making millions more sales, they have a game from 6 years ago that has made almost another 2 million sales in this year alone.
It's a very
so
good
like why where is the need for layoffs?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they don't add up. I mean,
I'm sure if we were to look at the CEO's pay increase over the last 5 years, I think that might explain something.
When was this? 2024.
So it's only a year ago, and there was like 1.5 million sales of Persona alone. 1.6 mil. And the year before was 1.8 million for Persona.
Yeah, I'm just looking.
And then they released Sonic Superstars. They got 1.8 million in the year, and then that one got 1.2. Persona 3 Reload got 1.2. Like, what?
The question is how much. I suppose then you'd have to have a look at like publishing deals and everything else, but I wouldn't know the statistics of it or the idea.
But there's just no way that that all went so badly that they had to lay off that many people, given the sales that they've gotten.
Yeah, 100% now. Especially considering Sonic Frontiers gave them 3.2 million just the year before. And I'd say overall, they had an amazing year in 2024.
And yet they were laying people off.
Yeah, seemingly so. Bloody insanity, mate. Bloody insanity. Anyways, let's move on to something a bit more cheerful, shall we?
I would love to, but it is you after all.
UK government launches £30 million games growth package. Investment strategy aims to boost country's games sector and help plug skill gaps. So, the scheme will provide £10 million annual over the next 3 years to support startup studios. It will expand the UK Games Fund to help bring young developers and early stage studios bring their games to market. A new industry-led UK Video Games Council will also be formed, made up of representatives from across the sector. The group will establish a closer link to decision makers with the aim to work with the government and the Creative Industries Council to help drive growth for the UK games industry. Now, the fact that they'll be supporting and funding early developments, I'm pretty interested by that. I think that'd be a good idea. Definitely bring in some money.
The extra help is definitely gonna hopefully encourage more people
100%.
to go for it, because if you think about it, it's a very demanding career to go into.
Definitely it is. I mean, right here. UK Games Fund reopens applications for 2 funds, offering grants of up to £150,000. That's going to massively help early developers, and that's great to see. At the end of the day, they need support in the early times to be able to get to where they want to be. It's why I am really happy about all these early games funds that are now starting to be established across the industry.
Yeah.
Skills gap. Meanwhile, the government hopes to strengthen the skills pipeline and help projects attract match funding from private investors. A new UK Games Skills Network will be created to publish a strategy for tackling persistent skill gaps and create pathways into the industry. The London Games Festival also looks set to get a funding boost, with the aim of doubling the value of investments made at the show to £30 million per year. Today's announcement is part of the UK government's plan to change aimed at investing into various business sectors and creating jobs. It aims to invest £380 million into the country's creative industries, with £150 million earmarked for regional funding. That potentially provides an extra investment boost for games beyond the £30 million earmarked nationally for startups. Pocket Gamer Connects will return to London once again next year, offering an opportunity for the global games industry to come together, network, gain industry insights, and sign business deals. It will also provide an opportunity to discuss these latest announcements and check in on their impact.
I feel like they're shooting themselves in the foot by hosting it in London.
Yeah, most definitely.
Who the hell wants to go to London?
An annoying
No
amount of
offense.
people. An annoying amount of people.
Yeah, which is why, like, of all people, gamers are not going to want to go to London then.
Yeah. We're the most antisocial people you know. Like, come on, don't do this.
Yeah.
The government's industrial strategy will be yet more proof that we are serious about turbocharging the growth of our creative industries as we deliver our plan for change. The UK's video game sector is a true national success story, with iconic titles created in studios from Dundee to Brighton. This £30 million investment package will help our talented developers turn brilliant ideas into exciting new games, create high-skilled jobs, secure investment, and drive growth across the UK. By backing our games developers with the funding they need, we're ensuring the next Tomb Raider or Little Big Planet will be made right here in Britain. Tell me you don't know much about video games without telling me you don't know much about video games. Don't get me wrong, both franchises were good, but really? Those are the two you come out with? Oh, okay. Okay. Nick Poole.
They're really just trying to get a finger in the pie at this point, man.
They are, yes. UKAE CEO Nick Poole commented, "On behalf of the UK's world-leading video game and interactive entertainment sector, we welcome the measures set out today by the government to supercharge our creative industries as part of the industrial strategy. Today's announcement is both validation of the huge cultural and economic impact of video games and an opportunity to show the world we are open for business." Richard Wilson also stated, "The video games industry provides high-skilled jobs, is export-focused, and supports economic growth across the UK. The reinforced UK Games Fund will help more small studios to scale up and grow while funding for London Games Festival. will highlight the capital's position as one of the most significant games clusters in Europe. I think it's interesting to see, and hopefully should definitely improve some of the UK games industry, because we need it. We really do. The industry's been struggling to keep stood up, I'd say. We've got companies like Rebellion that are still doing well, but for the vast majority, it's just indie markets across the board. There's very few that are wanted to be here anymore. I mean, Ubisoft closed their doors in the UK, which we covered a few months ago, and it's just slowly becoming more and more like that. So we definitely need to do something to step up and take control of it, to be honest with you. So, the Skyblivion team gives Bethesda modding advice.
This is going to go down well, isn't it?
I mean, the Skyblivion team are creating an entire game from their mod kit, so I'd say they've got the right to do so. The development team behind the highly anticipated Elder Scrolls V Skyrim mod, Skyblivion, spoke out about the advice they gave to series developer Bethesda on the subject of modding the studio's games. Skyblivion is the team's large-scale project recreating the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion using the modding tools and engine of Skyrim. Though Bethesda is a major developer with many games across multiple genres in its catalogue, it's best known
None of them have ever been fully finalized or even close to perfected.
That is also. It's best known for its open-world RPGs. Titles like Oblivion and Fallout 4 are ranked among the best Bethesda games around, not just because of their scale and play experience, but for their support of user-created modifications.
I was going to say user support. That doesn't sound right.
I think my work brain's reactivating a day early. Bethesda regularly releases toolsets and documentation to support players who take it upon themselves to create new content for the games. In turn, the likes of Skyrim and Oblivion have become evergreen titles as players spend years, even decades, playing through user-created mods and customized expansions.
Because mods make the game infinite.
They do indeed. One of the largest such projects, is Skyblivion, which attempts to create an enhanced version of Oblivion's campaign with content within Skyrim. The project was so highly anticipated that the Skyblivion development team was even invited to visit Bethesda directly in the wake of the launch of the Oblivion Remastered, which we covered just the other week. According to an interview... What, sorry?
Sorry, that was burning my nose.
Okay. According to an interview with PT Gamer, the team's visit to Bethesda's office went rather well, with an in-depth discussions of modding and mod tools. Skyblivion team offers advice to Bethesda on engaging the modding community. Now, this might say something similar to what we said about the Fallout London debacle, but it might go
which Rory is still not happy about.
I'm not. I'm really not. So, according to Skyblivion's team lead, who goes by Rebel's Eyes, Bethesda's developers were happy to show the Skyblivion team around the office. The visit originated as an impromptu proposition that came as Rebel's Eyes planned to visit the PAX East convention in Boston, because Boston was located relatively near Bethesda's headquarters in Maryland. The lead developer reached out and raised the possibility of a quick visit to say hi. Bethesda opted to formally invite the entire team over to interact. With the visit
they weren't expecting that then.
Oh yeah. With the visit lasting nearly 5 hours. Jesus Christ.
Jesus.
He said that Bethesda was most interested in finding out how the Skyblivion team got along with the Bethesda created tools it had created to support modding, such as Skyrim's creation kit. Since Skyblivion... Yeah, I can imagine this going so well.
Would actually use that.
Developers do, yeah.
I know. Developers, right? Okay. I know, like, there's actually like mods on it, but is there any substantial on it? I guess should be the proper question.
I mean, that's the way they've kind of got to go through and create some of these mods, but I suppose a lot of it would be dependent on what they've used.
I don't know about you. Any Bethesda game I've played, I have not touched that creation, whatever
you won't have to.
you want to call it. Yeah, I know.
It's
You
only
get what I'm saying?
yeah, it's only the modders that have got to use it.
Thank goodness.
Oh yeah, I mean we'd all quit otherwise. Yeah. Such as Skyrim's creation kit, since Skyblivion is one of the largest and most detailed Skyrim mods, and one that riffs directly on Bethesda's original work on Oblivion, the team was in a position to give a detailed insight. One insight the Skyblivion team shared was a desire for a more detailed video-based documentation to help to accompany the release of the creation kit. He shared that he missed the days when Bethesda would produce a series of videos helping new users come to grips with the Skyrim creation kit suite, which included developer-led walkthroughs for basic projects like creating a new dungeon, such learning aids for future Bethesda games like The Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5 could get fans well on their way to producing high-quality content for those titles and expanding their lives.
Those poor guys. They're so hopeful that we're going to see a massive Bethesda title soon.
Yeah, from the sounds
you sweet baby boys.
Yeah, from the sounds of things, we're much likely to see World War 3 than we are fucking Fallout 5 or Elder Scrolls 6.
Fucking aren't we just?
So, I'm sorry, Will, but we've got to go to negative news now.
You act like I wasn't prepared for it. Like, it's you, man. It's all you ever bring.
I prepared you like 2 days in advance. You got to give me that much.
Yeah, now you're gonna take me through the torture again. Thank you so much, dick.
I mean, these guys gave it a 1-star review.
I mean, I saw whatever fucking website you're on. It was given like a 5.5 stars out of 10 or something. Like, how? What? Who? That picture cracks me up, man. It looks like a fucking alien out of Star Wars, dude.
Oh yeah.
You know, with the fucking weird eyes.
I know
like,
exactly what you mean.
On tentacles.
Yeah.
Or something. I don't even know how to explain it, to be honest with it.
So,
that's what it makes me think of, though.
For anyone that's been living in a bunker over the last 2 weeks, Mindseye, or the mess that it is, just an absolute disgrace of a game.
Mindseye or mess with your eyes?
Yeah, that's actually a better one. Yeah, that works.
You're rubbing them so much, trying to figure out what in the hell are you looking at.
Well, that was literally what I ended up doing when I decided to play and ended up coming across that bloody CPR section.
Which was made easier, by the way.
I've heard, yeah. Really wish
Has he gone back to check? Doesn't care enough to know.
No, that thing is removed from my system and is never getting reinstalled or touched again. So, for anyone that's missed it, the game is just insultingly bad. It's horrific. Probably
you can't call that a game. You cannot call that a game.
I'll be honest. I can't believe I'm going to say this or ever had the thought. Comparing this game to another from the past, I feel like I was too harsh to Forspoken.
Excuse you?
Yeah, I feel like I was too harsh.
Excuse you, sir?
Yeah.
What did you just say?
Yeah, I feel like I was too harsh to it.
I'm gonna have to apply the contract and see what the punishment is. Oh, it says here by death. Okay.
Oh, that's fine. Just give me half an hour to finish up. Mindseye review. Calling it outdated is an insult to old action games. That's the thing. When everyone was looking at this, everyone looked at it and saw, oh, it looks a bit like a 2010 action game. But the thing is, a 2010 action game actually had some benefits and positives to it. I don't know what this has.
I don't know, man. It's gotta be one of the worst.
Although it shows some early promise, Mindseye is sunk by a ridiculous
whoa, what?
I know, right? Where's this early promise?
Start of that sentence?
Inconsistent writing, poorly designed mission scenarios, and utterly atrocious combat. I can't disagree with any of those bits. This bit I can disagree with entirely. You might not believe it based on the score, but I was fully in Mindseye's corner during the run-up to launch. There was a time when cover shooters and city-sized driving games were wearingly common. But at a time when every action game is a Souls-like or a roguelike, a live service multiplayer shooter, or Doom, the good old-fashioned GTA clone is a rare treat indeed. So,
oh my god, what is this article?
I know, right? I'm already.
They're trying to make it out like the game isn't actually half bad.
I mean, it did say it was.
I know it said, but it's also it's also still trying to fucking make it out like it's
It's
actually
trying to
got some
soften the
potential.
blow. Yeah.
There's no blow to soften it, the blow itself. You can take that in whatever fucking way you want, mate. Any way works. No
Yeah.
matter what, it was terrible.
It was horrific. So there's room in my life for a bit of cars.
What?
Literally.
Is that it?
Cars what gun fast. I feel like I'm having a stronk. And I was hoping Build a Rocket Boy's debut game would defy all the pre-release doubters. To see, there's a reason.
I'm not done with the start of this sentence, man.
No, I'm not even surprised. There's a
This
reason.
game was so bad that even people trying to write articles about it are having strokes mid-fucking article.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, this is once again a reason you do not listen to video game journalists. Don't do it. Revealing itself as a thrilling tribute to a bygone era. Yes, thrilling. The most thrilling part of this game. But one moment. I think
The most thrilling part of that game was closing it.
It was. It actually was. Obviously, as you were.
Ew. Who's that guy?
Alright. I don't like adverts. Here it is. This is the most thrilling part of this game. How thrilling. Are you all not entertained? Do you not think this is peak video game gameplay?
Absolutely. What exactly are you complaining about in this stream, Roy? Do you have a problem with the game? I don't see a problem here. I don't see a problem here.
You don't?
No, not at all.
Are you sure?
Absolutely positive.
This went on for a minute. I've watched this since, like, 1.5 times, so technically I've wasted 2.5 minutes of my life on Mindseye. No, actually 3 minutes of my life, because I failed at the first attempt. Yeah, 3.5 minutes of my life for nothing.
I know that they say, you know, it's not right to kick a man when he's already down, but what if you're already down and you kick yourself further? What do you say about that? That's kind of what you've just done here.
I just call that life. Sadly, if anything...
That's a little too real.
Yeah. Sadly, if anything, the skeptics were too charitable. Mindseye is an unmitigatable disaster, with flaws that run so much deeper than the technical hitches and deformed digital faces doing the rounds online, that you'll need some sort of pressure-resistant submersible to pull them out. Yeah, I think the pressure-resistant submersible they sent down was an OceanGate one. You remember the OceanGate situation, don't you, Will?
I have no idea what you just said because it cut you out.
Oh, of course it did. Of course it did.
But I know you've been saying this for a while.
Yeah.
But I feel like partially you were meaning it, but I think your CPU really is dying.
I know it is. I'm getting sad now. I'm getting so sad. Yeah, as I polish the size 12 steel toe caps for the booting that is to come, I would like to highlight some things I like about Mindseye. Why are you doing this?
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready.
Why are you
I'm ready.
this?
What can you possibly like?
Except
the ridiculous ragdolls and faces falling off of people.
I'll be honest, that was the best part.
You know me, Roy. I'm a sucker when it comes to stupid stuff like that.
For all it does wrong, there are fragments of talent and artistry here. Did you and me play different games?
I think whatever you streamed me was not what we're talking about.
It can't have been, can it? I think I must have opened up another game on my desktop.
It seems to be the case.
Yeah, glimmers of the game it might have been had it been given more time. One such thing...
What?
I don't know. One such thing is how it starts. Yeah, the 15 minutes of intro. I genuinely
I remember us doing an episode one day, and I believe we mentioned games with the longest or just the most cutscene time.
Yeah. Yeah.
There were some competitors out there, man.
Oh, there was. You know what? I'm actually curious. Mindseye total time in cutscenes.
Can we also get one for total time in having to drive a vehicle somewhere?
1 hour,
it was more of that than anything else.
Yeah, 1 hour 56 minutes. There's about 2 hours of cutscene.
And how long is the game supposedly?
That's a good question, because obviously, as I've told you, you cannot skip the cutscenes. So, if we go to how long to beat, how long? 15 to 20 hours.
10% of that time is cutscenes. That's a feels bad right there.
Give me a moment. I never trust those. Ah, here we go.
Main story's 10 hours. So 20% of the time spent is cutscenes. Wait, Rushed is 7 hours. Okay. It's getting worse. It's getting worse by the minute.
Yeah. To think that. Oh, wait, the fastest person.
So they spent half the time. They
in
had
cutscene.
to have found a way around it. There's no way. There's no way.
There's
You
no
tell me the
way
game is
around
fucking
it.
2 hours long.
Unless that's fastest to find a way to quit the game.
That could be considered a win when it
Yeah.
comes to this game.
Fastest way to crash it. But I mean, even then, even if you don't take the fastest from PC, 6 and 7 hours on these platforms.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty
that
bad.
quite literally means that they spent over 2 hours, just about 2 hours, just in gameplay.
It's seeming like it.
That's insane.
And it hurts.
It really does. Like, yeah, games are becoming closer and closer to films and the idea of how they work and the sort of bloody cutscenes and stuff. But no. Just stop. Forever.
Yeah, like, I don't care if you're gonna have major long cutscenes and different bits like that. But as long as the gameplay matches the quality of the cutscenes and you have the option to skip them if they're just too much, then I won't complain. But we're
Yeah.
talking that this game, seemingly so, is literally 50% cutscene, and the other 50% is driving in a fucking car.
Yeah, or shooting, which is horrific. You basically... It takes me back to the old days of hit scanning. It really does.
Not very many games you'll see with hit scan anymore, eh?
No, this game definitely had it. Oh, I didn't tell you one of my most annoyed features about Mindseye when I was showing it you the other day.
You didn't? Because you told me a lot of annoyances.
Oh, yeah,
that you
I
had
told
with
you
this
a
game.
lot, but there was one thing that I didn't tell you. Let me see if there's someone who's done it.
I'm
shown it.
honestly impressed that there was one thing that you didn't tell me.
Oh, I don't think they've got it. Wait, there was worse mechanics? I didn't even get that far. So, I don't think there's any video of it, but basically, I did one of the attacks right at the beginning of the game. And it was a side mission sort of thing. You walk into this portal, trigger it, and you get given a mission. This was from when he was in the military. So, anyways, I go in. I've got 3 guys with me that do fuck all. The first attempt, I genuinely didn't know they were there. That's how little they did. But if an enemy would shoot towards me, and they were outside of, let's say, 20 feet, the bullet would disappear and still hit me. So the tracer would just go. But that'd take damage just from, like, an invisible round.
As I was saying to you when you were screen sharing it to me the other day, the bullets never really felt like they mattered. It was just the longer time you were in, like, line of sight of an NPC, the more you would get hit, no matter where they were shooting or anything. It didn't matter.
Exactly that. One thing is how it starts. Mindseye's story revolves around Jacob Diaz, a military drone pilot, who we meet in the desert on a mission to explore an ancient underground structure. You know what? I'm going to summarize this because this is just going to wind me up if I've got to read the entire thing.
An ancient underground structure?
Yes.
What the fuck does that have to do with the rest of the game?
Right. I'm going to explain this very quickly and as quick as I can and summarize it. Jacob Diaz has a chip in his neck. This chip allows him to interact with his drone. I believe. I'm honestly not 100% sure.
Bro,
they have not
stated. Didn't stick around long enough to find out.
Yeah, pretty much. So, you are there with a military team in the middle of a sandstorm. You activate your drone. The rest of the team is defending you. You send your drone down through this crack into this ancient temple. Your drone scans some symbols it sees on a wall because you're curious what it is. Your drone and you get hacked and you're seizing on the floor. Everyone needs to defend you. That's the intro to Mindseye.
Well, I'm not going to question anything.
Yeah, the worst part is that sum up is pretty much everything this guy's just said. Yeah, and oh yeah, I forgot the other thing. Diaz lost all his memories because of course he did. I was intrigued.
Can't have any holes in the story if there's no story.
Yeah, I mean, I was intrigued at first. And then I sort of
And he
just
wasn't.
realised it's MacGuffin Central. And then, like, the whole game, I mean, you saw the clips. The whole thing was someone having, like, a panic attack over the chip in his neck. And him trying to figure out who the hell created it and what the hell they're doing. So they do more of this crap. Oh, dear God. I mean, that's good. I like that.
It's about the only good thing, though, is how ridiculous the NPCs die.
So I didn't even get to the point where I was able to use abilities.
I mean, I can't blame you for not getting to that point, though.
Yeah.
The game was so mundane. There was like you weren't really doing anything. The guns were just awful to use. And if you're playing a game where you're shooting guns, if gunplay doesn't feel good, I'm not gonna play it. Plain and simple.
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. It's a tight, tantalizing prologue. No, it's not. That lightly subverts your expectations at seeing dusty military men on the screen. Actually, it made me depressed when all of a sudden I went from military men in the middle of a conflict zone in a sandstorm. I thought they were going to go take some people out. No, they're going to go look at the fucking ancient wall. Wow. It's also directed with the kind of cinematic flair you'd expect from a studio descended from Rockstar North. No, it's really not. So at least they know how to write a fucking story.
Wow, that's all I had to change with the new GTA.
Well, yeah, true. That flair continues through the prologue. Dear God, I'm having an aneurysm just talking about this. So, indeed, that flair continues through the prologue and indeed through much of the game. No, it really doesn't. Discharged from the military and disconnected from his Mindseye drone, Diaz arrives in a futuristic Las Vegas analog Red Rock City.
Which, by the way, looks
horrendous.
Pretty much like Las Vegas.
Yeah, and you can't free roam. Like, what the fuck?
That is true. I'm sure you're going to get around to that, though.
Oh yeah, they're adding it in eventually. Because, they've given us all these build mechanics and shit.
Eventually, how are you going to launch it with, like, the main mechanic not enabled?
Oh, well, that's the thing. They're basically going to just add an update that's going to add that as a feature, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
It's going to add it as a feature. It's definitely not going to be for a price, right?
Oh, you never know. Moving in with a friend who has nabbed him a job as a security guard at Silver Industries, but Diaz has ulterior motives. Silver Industries owned and operated by the tech mogul Marco Silva.
Right.
I'm moving on.
Yeah.
This entire review is going to give me an aneurysm.
How about we give a quick sum up of your experience playing the game and then, yeah.
You know what? I'll do it in the way that Ollie does it from Family Guy in the News. Bad.
Okay, it's bad!
Yeah, exactly that. I mean, at least this one's going to go along the way of what I believe and understand and feel about this game, so I can probably get behind this. Mindseye Studio, heartbroken over buggy launch. Then don't release it, you fucking scumbags.
Yeah, like, we talk about how we're not happy about, like, early access releases and constant delays, but my God, people, if it needs to be delayed, delay it. We're not going to be happy about it, but we're going to be happier than whatever this is.
That's a slug. I'm not wrong. Over buggy launch, PlayStation issues refunds. Builder Rocket Boy claims it's discovered the source of most of Mindseye's issues. Is it its CEO?
The development team?
Could be that too.
Could be either. We'll never know.
Mindseye Studio Builder Rocket Boy says it's heartbroken over the buggy experience many launch players have suffered, as PlayStation appears to be issuing refunds for some who are dissatisfied.
Dissatisfied. That's the word they're choosing.
The Edinburgh-based studio. Do not tell me this is a British-based company.
Well, if it just said Edinburgh, I'm gonna go out and win.
Edinburgh is Scotland, from what I remember.
Yeah, which is British.
Yeah, but the amount of
Rory, I know they want to be disowned, but they haven't been disowned yet.
The amount of places in America that have taken British-named locations and just...
You know, that's fair. That's fair,
yeah.
Actually. You've got me there.
Actually, it's Builder Rocket Boy, isn't it? Scotland.
Yeah.
Okay, disown Scotland. Just disconnect it from the UK right now.
I mean, they've been wanting to be for a while.
They've been happy about that for... Well, the thing is...
They've been trying.
We say that, but then every time they have a bloody referendum about it, they turn around and vote no. Like, make up your minds.
because they're the ones who want to leave.
Probably. I've got no idea.
But you lot
No, this is the thing. Their country, Scotland, has to have a vote about it. And every time they have a vote, they vote no to leaving.
I'm pretty sure. Is it by like a small margin each time, though?
Yeah, it's not by much, but the majority is
Anyway,
always...
we're getting off topic here.
It's insanity in the UK. The Edinburgh-based studio has been scrambling to fix bugs this week after the internet filled with videos of its single-player action game breaking and distorting in unexpected ways. Really? Unexpected? Did you not have playtesters?
That's actually an excellent question.
I mean, the CEO actually was playtesting this game a lot. So my question is, how did he play this and think, oh, this is fine?
Okay, for starter, I'm impressed that the CEO actually did something.
I wouldn't say he did something.
Game related. I mean, hey, listen, we'll take it. It's more than what the rest of them do, which is a fat load of nothing.
I mean, I'd agree, but the problem is he ran his company into the ground with a single release.
500 million into the ground, man.
Yeah, I mean, at least Ubisoft did this over decades. You know what I mean? Not over just like one release. I have to give them that much.
Something changed.
Yeah. Build a Rocket Boy and its publisher IO Interactive. I am so sorry, IO. You should not be mentioned with this mess. Did not supply pre-release review codes to the press for Mindseye. But at the time of publishing, its Steam reviews are around 60% negative.
I was going to say, I don't know where they were going, because nobody would say how much positive it is.
37% positive.
Yeah, so 63% negative.
Yeah. Most of the criticism from players has been leveled at the game's performance, stability, and AI behavior.
And how about just the game itself? Just not really being a game at all.
Yeah. On Wednesday, there was evidence that multiple players have been refunded. A rare occurrence that conjures memories of Cyberpunk 2077's trailer launch.
I wish we could say it's a rare occurrence, Roy, but recently...
Yeah, it's become more prevalent, especially with PlayStation. I don't mean that harshly, but, you know, there's only so much I can take, which was eventually pulled from sale entirely. Yeah, that's a point. Cyberpunk 2077 at least had a full game that you could play that was actually good.
Wow.
What the hell is this? If they do not pull Mindseye from sale like they did Cyberpunk, I'm going to claim some semblance of favoritism. On Thursday, Build a Rocket Boy published a new statement claiming that it had discovered the source of most players' issues, and that a fix would be developed as soon as Friday.
Mm-hmm. And what was causing these issues? And what issues exactly are we talking about?
This was the 12th of June. Okay. So, if that's the case, this shouldn't have dropped to 37% from 40%, should it?
I'm going to go with no.
Yeah.
Also,
June,
if they supposedly found the cause of the issues and we're gonna patch it, and you screen shared this to me, was it yesterday or the day before? It was Thursday, maybe. Thursday it was. That's after the supposed patch that they were gonna hopefully release, if they even did.
Right off the bat, I want to say I wanted to support Leslie, and I still want to. But the way I see it, especially after watching him talk about the game right before launch about QA testing, lol, if he was honest about the game, I would have kept it. But really does seem like they said, fuck it, let's see how much money we can get out of this thing. As much as I want to have hope, the better part of me thinks this game will remain unfinished and updates will slowly grind to a halt once the base performance is fixed. I hope I'm wrong, but the bones of this game, like the mission structure, story, like imagining releasing an unfinished story that's going to take a lot of work to fix, systems, let alone the envisioned monthly DLC. I know some of these guys say they'd pick it up if it was on sale, but I can't fathom that unless it's like $5.99.
Cheaper.
Even then, I could probably find some games that would give me more bang for my buck.
There are free games that are going to give you better content than this.
You know what, dude? It was this one, wasn't it?
In regards to that last review, though, about the unfinished storyline, that's not a problem with just this terrible game.
No, it's become more a problem for gaming
We
in
are
general.
literally having to pay for DLC to finish a storyline of a massive title that just released.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and nothing's being done about it. So it's just that's going to probably become even more of a thing, where
Yeah.
you're gonna have to continuously pay for a storyline if you even want it.
Yeah. So they're heartbroken basically that no one's enjoying the game. And that's all I've got to say.
There's no game there to enjoy though.
No. I just want to see this, by the way, quickly. This is apparently all the other stupid mechanics that I
Oh,
didn't
this is
suffer.
unlocking a safe, I presume.
Yeah?
He just puts his ear to the safe and he can hear it. Is that what you're
Yeah,
telling me?
apparently. So that's one mini game. What else we got? Anything else? Oh, okay.
What?
I have no idea. It's even more confusing than the game. So, me and Will looked on Glass Eye the other day. I'm sure Will will remember exactly what this was about. But we found out how much the game was actually, how much the development costs were.
Absurd amounts.
Yeah, so basically, this person from Glassdoor, to put a review on as Glassdoor, you have to be able to prove that you worked at the company or do work at the company. And basically, the person who labeled themselves as a team leader in the company, they said that the development cost was $500 million.
It's fucking mental.
$500 million went on this game. Also, once again, Game Ranks, do me a favor, double check your articles. Billion, not million.
I mean, it's not wrong.
But the worst part, though, it makes it a higher development cost than Concord.
So far, it's lasted longer than Concord. You know, it's still on the store
Somehow.
somehow.
Pros, lovely people at the ground level. Pay is decent if you're not QA or tech design. Cons.
Everything, literally everything.
Yeah, this was pretty much his entire thing. I'm not going to go through this because honestly, he's destroyed the company externally and I fully support it. I recommend you check it out. There will be a link to the full thing on in the Panther Talks Discord, but I always put all the links and references. I don't even want to cover this. Not all. Mindseye 2 might be in development.
Someone from this being a possibility.
How can you know? The game is awful. Everything to do with it is dreadful. Who the hell would ever touch this thing? Why did I play it?
Well, we know why, but we're not going to say it because it's unethical.
I don't care. I just don't care anymore. You know, I felt when we started this channel and I first played Forspoken, and I was there like, you know what? This was horrific. It was hands down the worst game I played that year. Year after, I came across Skull and Bones, and you know what? I put it about on par with Forspoken at that time.
That was a mobile game, man, at best.
Yeah, it was horrific. I didn't like that either. Now I've come across this, and I can happily say I feel bad about what I said about those two games. At least they had some stability, some bloody movement, some mechanics that were seen and actually gone, you know what? These are actually cool ideas. They had something to pull themselves back from the depths that is fucking Mindseye. And whoever the CEO is, Leslie, whatever his name is, please step down. You clearly do not know what you're doing, nor do you care about the industry, so fuck off. Anyway, happier news. Steam Summer Sale, 26th of June, so 4 days from now till July 10th. Pick up games on the cheap.
We're traumatized after that and I've already clicked off the fucking stream. Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, there's some positive news. Pick up games on cheap. Avoid Mindseye like the fucking plague. If you see anyone playing it, please report them to your local psychiatric ward. Or please report the government because they're most likely torturing your friend. Those are the only two reasons I can ever see someone playing that game. And you know what? To prove said point, come on.
What was it, 121, I think, when we looked at it on Thursday? Still 96 people playing. They've got to be just, like, annihilating the game with some fucking mod or cheat.
3,000 players. 1,883 players. 912. 602. 432. 280. 196, 153, 144, 123, 143, 110. I feel this is deserved. I am very, very angry about this whole situation.
I've noticed.
As I said, like I don't usually feel too bad about the things I say about bad games. Forspoken and Skull and Bones, those two I thought were horrific at the time, and you know what? They were. They really were. But Ubisoft continued working on Skull and Bones, and apparently it's actually got a bit of a fan base now.
Really?
Let me just check it. Skull and Bones. 187. Overall, they hit about 200 players a week.
Still not great for a
oh, no. Not
title.
Not by a long shot, mate. It's still horrific, but they're doing better than what they originally started, and they are constantly updating it. So I have to give them some benefit where it's due. Fucking Forspoken, you know what, I'll let it speak for itself. But look at their review scores.
Yikes.
62% positive.
Feels generous, honestly.
Yeah, I'm completely in agreement. It does. But, you know, I think it's more forgivable than this. The players leave,
and I mean, there's so
back.
few players as well, man. Like no one was wanting to get this game.
No. So yeah, I genuinely do feel bad about what I said in the past in comparison to this game. But does that mean that I was wrong? No, not in the slightest. They still deserve the criticism they got about them. And
didn't they get criticism? Jeez.
Mindseye, you are now my top hated game of all time, and I will make sure to rant and rave. But anyways, that's me done for today. So, Will, do you have anything you'd like to add? Something positive, please?
No.
Nothing, really?
Yeah, I have to add, it's about 7 days. The experimental version 2.0 is up, and it's just, it added absolutely nothing to the game.
Yeah, I thought as much.
I think you thought of something good. We got a somewhat of a release date for Beyond Sandbox.
Yeah, that was the only positive we have. It's coming out this year, Q4, winter. And I've been watching a lot of their videos on TikTok, and they're doing amazing work. They really are, and I look forward to seeing much more from them. But yeah, I think that's everything I've got for this week, and in that case, then we shall end this episode here. I do apologise for the absolute anger at the end.
It's a common theme.
There's only so much you can take before you snap.
Which you snapped like 2 years ago. How long have we been doing this for?
About 2.5 years.
Well, you snapped 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, that sounds about. I think it was like the 4th episode that I. No, it was the 11th episode because that was when I reviewed Forspoken.
I don't know. I feel like we could go back to one of the previous episodes before then and still find you being angry.
Probably, but probably not for the same reasons. I reckon I probably sounded a lot more cheerful, like 2.5 years ago.
Honestly, I'm sorry to doubt it. I truly am.
I get that. I find it weird that on YouTube,
Forspoken was episode 2. That's all I'm saying.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're joking.
I rest my case.
Did I?
It doesn't seem like it.
It wasn't out. It wasn't out.
Doesn't matter. No, doesn't matter. I'm sure there was anger. I can already feel the hatred coming from the video.
Okay. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching.
Rory has no shame.
No, not particularly, no. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. If you have enjoyed, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, comment, and all that good stuff. And join the Discord, which the link is in the description. I'm going to try for a nicer episode next week instead of me ranting and raving like an angry Englishman. But no promises.
I look forward to it, but, never really have my hopes up.
Yeah, no promises. If it's not me, it's you. There was that one week where I was actually quite calm and you were angry at the games industry instead. It was very
normally because there's something that you do. You send me something or show me something. I just don't believe it.
I was completely innocent that week. I didn't do anything.
I find that hard to believe.
I spent the entire week ill. That's why I know I didn't do anything.
You probably did something before you got ill.
Dick.
Anyways. Tell me I'm wrong.
I can't. You know I can't. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you all next time.
See you later, guys.